So 2023, paper 2, question 2, part C. So it says find all the solutions, and the word all is important there. So we know straight away that it's not just one solution. In fact, you'd expect as well to be more than two, because if it was two, they would say two. So I think the fact that it says all solutions is suggesting that there's probably quite a few. And we know that T that's used in the equation is between 0 and 360 inclusive. So we can include 0 degrees or 360 degrees in our calculation. Okay, so I guess unless it's a linear equation where we have variables one side, numbers to the other, generally we want everything on the one side. Generally, I guess that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to start by doing that. So I'm just going to bring everything to the same side, minus sine 2t. Now, I suppose anytime we're solving something, a good place to start is, well, what don't I like about this? And usually that's the hint as to where to start. So I guess what I don't like about this is the 2t. So I asked myself, okay, is there a way that I can go from 2t, so this double angle thing, into kind of a regular angle? So if you remember on page 14 and 15, we had all the different compound angles, double angles, products, sum and differences. So you need to turn to page 14, 15 of your log tables. Now, this is what we would call a double angle, because it is there, as you can see, 2t. So it's not just the angle t, it is 2t. So you'll notice on page 14, I'll just write it down for you first. You'll see sine of 2a is equal to 2 sine a cos a. So why did I pick that one out? Well, the first thing is I went to the double angle section, because that's what this is. And then when I looked at the double angle section, I obviously looked for where I was going to find sine 2a. In other words, double the angle for sine. So that's why I ignored the cos, I ignored the cos squared, the sine squared, I ignored the tan 2a, I ignore the cos 2a. Now there is another sine 2a, but when you look at the formula for that, it's 2 tan a 1 plus tan squared a. The reason I'm not picking that one is because there is no reason for me, like there's nowhere in this equation where we're doing tan. So there's nothing here to suggest that that's what we're going to be wanting to get. So what I'm going to do is I am going to rewrite. It's going to start with my sine t minus. So my plan here is to replace that using the formula. So instead of sine 2a, we're going to think of this as sine 2t. So in other words, we're going to think of it as 2 sine t instead of a, cos t instead of a. Now it's getting a bit closer to what we want. In other words, having like terms. So I could factorize out the sine t, and I'd be left with 1 minus 2 cos t equals 0. Now, this is already getting me to a solution. So the null factor theorem tells us that if we've something multiplied by something else, which is what this is, equal to 0, either one or both must be 0. So a sine of t equals 0, or 1 minus 2 cos t equals 0, or both. Now, when is sine 0? Well, think of your unit circle. When is sine exactly 0? So this would be the point 1, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. So sine is 0. So remember, Christian name, surname. So sine is 0 at 0 degrees. Where else is sine 0? Well, it's over here as well. Christian name, surname at 180. And I suppose if we come back, it's also 0 at 360. So we have 3 answers so far. I'm just going to highlight those. So 0 degrees, 180 degrees, 360. Okay. Now we're going to deal with the other half. So I'm going to rearrange here. 1 equals to 2 cos t. Cos t equals a half. Okay. So now we ask ourselves, well, where is cos a half? Now, you could check on the calculator or you could look back to your special angles table, page 13. Cos is a half at 60 degrees. Now, that's great. We have another answer. But is that it? Well, again, we need to consider the unit circle when we're looking for all solutions because it's positive a half. So all are positive in the first. So that's our 60. So all stupid teachers cry. But cos is also positive in the fourth quadrant. So we can't forget there is another solution there. Now, how do we get solutions in the fourth quadrant? Well, in the first quadrant, they're as is, which is why it's 60. In the second quadrant, it's 180 minus the angle. In the third quadrant, it's the angle 180 plus the angle. And in the last one, it's 360 minus the angle. So we're going to do 360 minus the angle, 60, equals 300. So that's our last solution. So there's actually 5 answers: 0, 180, 360, 60 degrees, and 300. So that you need all 5 answers to get full marks.